Welcome to the main event. Final round from the Great Britain GP, and we all know I had an absolute bottle of a job yesterday with such hard matchups, but we're getting back up off the floor, off the canvas, and we're going again. And as you can see, 4 races in, rocking 188 points, still some real players, but we're getting by just fine at the moment. Opening round 367, qualifying 188. This final round, 4 races, Bahrain, fastest lap of Imola, Singapore and Monza to round off the weekend. Can we finish off with maybe a sneak of a top 10? Let's get started. Ready up the engines, they're firing, let's go. Wish me luck then. Bahrain for race number 5. The first of the final 4 races for us to navigate. Can we do what we thought was the impossible yesterday and score max points on final round? Good matchup first of all though. Hamilton P1, Russell P2 and Hamilton P9 and Russell P10. We're going to go for Kawhi and we're going to go downforce on the mediums just to keep it nice and easy. Should be able to navigate this pretty clearly. Biggest threat, probably from a safety car. But let's see. Rocket launch off the start. Here we go. P1, P2, definitely a bot on the mediums and hards. And these two swap around after having a little moment together. And we're into P1, P2 as always against a bot player. It's straight into the lead with that boost launch. We're going to keep boosting until this corner here and cut down on both. And now it's about managing the tyres and the fuel until we get to that push stage, almost like a rocket where we're managing the phases as we go. 1 lap already down of this race. We'll watch out for any slow moving cars, but there's a slow moving car because Guan Yu is already having a safety car triggered, and we're gonna pit with that car. And we're not going to pit just yet with Russell, but Hamilton we will definitely pit. Don't want to take any chances with him, running at 60%. Free pit stop as well. And we've probably got a free pit stop as well with Russell, but I don't think we really need to come in. Or if we do, I might just come in for some softs. Let's just pit anyway. We're going to lose 1 place, I believe. Or is it going to be losing 2 places? Mercedes is coming past. Nope, just the 1. So, we've changed track position. George Russell comes ahead on half-used soft tyres. We're good to go on some full use. We shouldn't see another safety car in this race. So what we need to do now is just get this speedy safety car to hurry up. And we can start pushing as hard as we can. We've both got 8 laps of fuel left, so plenty of fuel in that tank. Plenty of tyres as well now. And we're shortly going to get this underway again. No one else pitted. There's a few hards out there that we should be able to fly off into the distance with these boosts as well. Let's get the job done. As here we go. We're about to launch again to start lap number 4. And we'll boost with Hamilton now. And Russell. And see if we can get past George Russell into the first corner, which we can't. But Hamilton speeding off into the distance. We'll do 2 laps and then come back into the pit. Which is looking pretty good at the minute. I'm going to do 1 more and then we'll just come in for some mediums, I think. We don't want to risk anything. And George Russell already in P2. We'll do the same, but we'll come back on softs. That's the use of the downforce coming in handy. And we are going to be pretty solid. What's the gap? We're well out front at the minute. No dramas there. Plenty of fuel as well. As Hamilton comes round then to jump into the pits. Nice quick pit stop needed. We're going to double stack, but that's okay. Didn't really need to service, but we have. And Hamilton comes back out. George Russell in P2 on the softs. We can run to the end as well. And these two, plenty of fuel left. And we are good to finish this off. Another race potentially ticked down here. Against a nice bot to start the video. Makes a bit of a difference from the start of yesterday's video, where it was absolutely chaos in every single race. Need to get past these back markers without no dramas though. And look at that, we're well ahead with a lot of people to pit as well. Coming through Sonoda Latifi at the moment. Can we finish the job in Bahrain? Some interesting races coming up. We got one lap to go. Hamilton will start that lap. Russell chasing him down in P2. Will not want to let this win go easy. Make sure you do let me know in the comments down below how you're getting on this weekend. But it's going to be... well, we're almost going to lap the rival. Kawhi against P8 and P6 for the rival here. And Hamilton's already passed. And we are going to come home lapping most of the field. P1 for Hamilton and P2 for George Russell. Race number 6. Italy, Imola. Let's see what we can do. Can we come off with a good score? We're about to find out. Let's see where we qualify. I think it's a real player matchup as well. And we've got a decent bit of qualifying. 1, 2, 5 and 6 for the opponent. So Kawhi for our P1 driver. And I'm pretty stuck of what to go for in George Russell. But I think we're going to go a bit of score here. Using the cornering grip, I think we're going to push from the start, create that gap, and it looks like it could be a bot. I mean, we matched up pretty quickly. Does look like to be a bot though, and it's nice. It's real, medium and hard then for the rival. Now that could come back and bite me in the butt, couldn't it? Pretty quickly if I get beat here. And we get a decent start. We're going to cut down George Russell. We're going to leave Hamilton boosting for a little bit longer. So interesting choice of tyres by the rival to start on them mediums. Probably going to be quite tricky to do the 4 laps and push hard. Russell, I'm not going to battle too much. He's using quite a bit already. And we're going to try and get packed through on the corners. And that's why you use cornering boosts on this track. We're looking pretty good at the minute. We just got to keep that car at bay and keep pushing, because they're going to keep us honest in this race. That is certain. So Hamilton goes through. We're going to pit and service. His rival coming through still. We're going to basically boost down. And we've got extra fuel here, so I'm going to come out on the mediums. Hamilton, we're going to leave boosting. We're going to see if we can hold him up here as well. He's pushing very hard. And let's push away now. So we should be able to create a little bit of more of a gap. We should get him in the corners anyway. And he is only doing 3 laps. In we come. Will he get ahead of us here? Not quite. And we're back out in front. Russell will start to push. So he's done 3. He's now gone to softs. He's not pushing yet either. Can we keep this up? We're going to let Russell come at Hamilton. He's got the extra fuel a little bit anyway. Let's boost him now. What gap have we got? 2.8, but Hamilton should be quicker to complete these laps. And we've got that cornering and grip boost, which through this section is absolutely fantastic. And we want to keep that going. Gap 3.4. and the hard tyre on the soft or that firework still. One more lap. Or actually, let's bring Hamilton in. I'm thinking to cut to mediums here. Russell goes on, just in case of a safety car here. That was all that was for. I'm going to try, if we can get out in front. It's absolutely chaos around here. I'm going to cut down. Oh my God, what's going on with Lewis Hamilton? Can't get through the back markers. Now does. We're going to keep cutting down. And we're going to push very shortly. Using that Kawhi. Look, Hamilton cannot corner so far today. So now we're going to push. Plenty of tyres. Should be good to go on the end with fuel as well. Same with Russell. Rival pits. Remember, down this straight, as you've already saw, firework blasted past me, but through the corners, we blasted back past. It is a cornering and grip track, albeit a long straight. So we're looking good with the right choice of boost. And I think Skull was a very decent boost choice as well. So we start the last lap. We're going to have to probably conserve to finish in the end. But we have got a massive gap over P3 and P4. Rival very respectful as well. And we'll cut down here. Cut down for Hamilton as well. And we'll just see this through to the end. And we have overcome this. Decent strategy. Managed it well. And George Russell will complete race 6 with a nice victory to score 24 points. Hamilton not too far behind. And that is 47 points. Real player. And we've done it very nicely indeed. Race 7 in Singapore. We're getting closer to the final races of the Great Britain event. And we've got a rain, purple rain, down in the darkness, the cost saving of Singapore. Where do we qualify? Well, qualifying comes as a WF1, P1 and P2 against Norris and Hamilton. It's going to be a dry start to the race. So we are going to use... Well, I don't know what we're going to use. We're going to use downforce. We're going to plan as if this is a dry lump of weather at the start. So downforce and eagle. And if the rain comes in, hopefully you're in a decent position. 2 minutes, so should be able to get a nice little boost ahead. And that should be around 2 minutes before we pit as well. So we boost off the start. Norris P6, and he's gone miles back off the start. So a great start for us this race. And well, Norris back up now, changing around, but it doesn't really bother us too much. And we should be able to do at least 3 laps before we come in for wets. And Hamilton can do 4 laps on the wets, Russell 4 laps too. So our strategy should give us the perfect pit opportunity to get on to them wet weather tyres. So no hanging around on the wrong tyres too much in this race. And we should be pitting end of lap 3, I would think, as we go round to start lap 2. Looking at the field, a lot of soft tyres behind us, and Russell's got a decent gap over the Mercedes. Cornering and a grip track is our Singapore, hence the boost that we're using. You definitely don't want speed around here. And in the wet as well, Hex not very good around here in the wet. There is better boosts out there. Tuning, Prince, SAR, all a lot better than Hex in Singapore. So 1 lap more and we will come into the pits. It's going to work out pretty much perfect with another 40 seconds. So we'll bring Hamilton in. We can do 4 laps, so we're absolutely good as gold here. We're going to move both onto medium. Well, actually, we can start boosting both. Let's get ahead. Make sure that we've got a comfortable 4 laps for the finish. That's the main thing. This could still go either way in this race. We don't want to get our hopes up just yet. 4.3 seconds is the gap. Another 4 seconds nearly to P3. And that's what we want to see. As Hamilton, and look at that, I told you, weather bang on our pit stop time. And we are in. And 5 minutes of rain. So we can push for 4 laps, but we're just going to conserve. We're going to come out in a comfortable P1, P2 with the rival behind now only just coming out of the pits. So what's the gap? 11 seconds now to P3. And this is exactly what we needed in a very difficult track. And if a safety car comes out now, well, we're prepped. We're good to go. Anyway, and we could probably do the whole race on Eagle, because we've only lost 10% already with Russell, and we're about to start the next lap, so we could have done 7 laps easy. But that's not what we need. So Hamilton crosses the line to start lap number 5. George Russell now crossing the line, and still a decent gap. The gap's coming down, but we're not using any of our tyres as of yet. We can do the 4 though, so we are going to just start to boost very shortly. And we've got Lewis Hamilton coming down, so we'll start boosting from here. We've got enough fuel now. We've got the safety of tyres as well, so let's boost that away. As we can see, the Mercedes just coming into shot in the background. But the Mercedes pair, or as recently signed as a WF1 pair for this weekend, pretty comfortable as it sits. And this rain will see us out to the end of the Grand Prix in Singapore. Make sure you do as well, make sure you look at the description down below. There's a Discord link to join my server. Over 300 people in that server, so make sure you get involved. It's nice to see new faces in the comments, new faces in the Discord, especially approaching that new season. So Hamilton's coming round. He's going to lap the opponent by the look of it, who's just coming out of the pits in P14. And Russell not too far behind. Close that gap a little bit. P3 miles back, up to 14 seconds now. And we're going to bring this baby home. Race 7 looking good. As now we do lap the rival. Dry boosts in the wet. That's the new strategy. Can we complete a max final round? We've got 1 race left to overcome. Can we do it? Compared to yesterday, wow. Lewis Hamilton wins in Singapore. George Russell P2, and that is 7:47s. Just 1 race to go. The final race from Monza in this epic weekend of some tough matchups and some tough racing. And we're left with Monza to see a possible full perfect final round. Can we do it? We've got a real player by the look of it. So we've got it all to do. But we've got a decent qualifying position. Hamilton followed by Russell. And we're going to boost off the start. So Dead Fast is going to come in for us. And we're also going to use Eclipse, giving us fuel, speed, overtaking. The best we can absolutely ask for, and we're going to have to be pretty aggressive. I think we don't want that rival to impact us at all. We want to be far enough ahead for any safety car. Rivals starting on hards. Very interesting. We've seen some interesting matchups tonight. This is another one of them. So Russell leads from Hamilton. The rival, P7 and P8. We're going to keep boosting. And we're going to cut back on Lewis Hamilton. We want to create a nice gap early on. And George Russell. And we're going to cut down there. So we've got a decent gap to start with. We want to get ahead of them hard tyres. That's key here. And what's the gap at the minute? 3 seconds we've got. And then the medium is a further 2.5 seconds back. So we're going to just keep that going. So Russell out front. We're going to keep boosting around. Really create that gap now. And let's bring him in. Let's bring George Russell in. Hamilton coming round as well. And we will all come into the pits. And what we're going to do is we're relatively far ahead of the rivals. We're going to just conserve mediums, and we're going to do all we can to have plenty of tyres in case of a safety car. So Hamilton's going to be coming in. He'll go the mediums as well. We'll probably do only 2 laps on the mediums, and we'll come back out for mediums again. So in comes Hamilton. Russell got some company, but they're all going to pit. And to be fair, we can still push. We've got a lot of fuel left on both drivers here. The hard tyres continue round. Rivals going for the 1 stop. And what's the gap at the minute? 2 seconds. And it's George Russell with the lower percent of tyres at the minute. I mean, what's the rival using? It's going to go hard, surely. As Hamilton comes across the line. And Russell will come into the pits. We're going to service anyway, because why not? We're going to come back with both with hards. So the rivals, if the safety car comes out now, we're going to be ahead of P3 and P4, who don't need to pit. And then it'll be back on the hards for the rival. So we're in no danger now. We shouldn't be anyway from the AI. And we are in. So Hamilton in for a pit stop. Hopefully it's a quick one, because we're coming in and we're in. Russell coming out P2. Very good gap over P3. Fuel-wise, very good as well. But we are just going to conserve this lap so that we don't get a safety car for a last lap sprint. And then we will start to push again. We should be good though, to be honest, all the way to the end now. So let's boost out with Russell. Let's see this across the line. Let's see this final round push for a 376 after only 367 points yesterday. Who would have thought that today was the day we went back and scored some maximum points? All our luck ran out yesterday, but maybe we got that luck back today. With 1.5 laps to go round the famous Italian track of Monza. Lewis Hamilton looking to cement the victory ahead of his partner George Russell. As we get past the back markers and away to start the final lap. The victory lap. And it won't be P1 this weekend. It probably won't even be a top 3. But we've put ourselves right in the contention of the top 10. We'll be watching over to see what happens with everybody else. But it looks like at the moment we are going to potentially secure a top 10 finish. Lewis Hamilton wins here in Monza. Brilliant final round. George Russell comes home in P2 to complete the front row lockout to win the race. And we'll wait for the rival, who's up to P4 and P6 on that hard tyre doing the 1 stop. Let's see what he does though. He finishes in P4. Can they get P5 round the last corner? They can't. It's going to be a P6 finish. And let's see what that does. Nice 47 to finish. Sadly, we dropped the points yesterday. That's what's going to cost us big time, especially with the amount dropping 9 points. But let's see where that puts us at the moment. It does put us in P1. Wow, didn't even know the leaderboard up until this point. But at the minute, we sit P1. There is plenty of big fish to go, especially from Black Sails. We've got Supercharged, who went perfect at the weekend as well so far. So, good luck to everybody else. We've done all we can, but at the moment, we're sitting P1 with 376 points. So, let's roll on. Hopefully, we could sneak a medal. If not, a top 10 one. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.